guys, I have a question this week that's extremely fitting for this podcast, and it's got a very simple answer. And that is, what is more brutal? A pipe wrench or a trench club?
Pipe wrench.
To the face.
Pipe wrench, metal. Trench club, wood with metal. So I think that the more metal, the worse it would be.
But I feel
It's got little spikes on it too. The trench club. Also, the trench club, you can hit somebody a lot of times with that before you get tired. But you only have to hit them a couple times to really do some damage with
or just
pipe
once,
wrench.
maybe.
Or possibly just once. To cave in their skull. Yeah, for brutality's sake, yeah, definitely the pipe wrench. As far as which one I would rather have as a weapon, that's a different question. But the pipe wrench is way worse.
You'd say the trench club you would rather use, but you think the
pipe wrench would be way more brutal. Like, if I was a Viking, I would definitely use a pipe wrench.
For all those pipes that you would need to wrench whenever you're a Viking.
It's a weapon we're talking about.
But why would it exist?
I'm just imagining like a...
I just meant if I was Viking. If I was Viking stature.
I was imagining Conan with a pipe wrench. Crom, you know that those who plumb never.
Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Philip. Like, I would much rather use a trench club.
I feel like you could use it to more effect in a fight.
There's something very professional about the trench club. It's like you're an amateur if you're using the pipe wrench.
Well, I mean, the pipe wrench, generally has like sort of a square handle, more difficult to hold on to. Not really anything for gripping, really, in a fighting scenario. Also, if you cave in somebody's skull with it, it might get stuck in there. There's like a pretty good chance.
Yeah.
So it's not like you could pull it back out really easily.
And I feel like with the trench club, you get a much more cheese grater effect also with those little spikes.
The trench club is essentially, it's just a small baseball bat with spikes on it. And it's basically the scariest thing ever.
Okay, so welcome to Motion Picture Meltdown. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen the Roast Rosenberg.
Bill the Kill Collins.
And DeHart.
And we are continuing our not-so-superhero September with a couple of recent movies from the last couple of years.
Well, they're both from 2010, right?
One is 2009, and the other one's from 2010.
I think Defender's 9.
Yeah, it is. So, let's go ahead and start with Defendor. You guys good with
Defendor.
That works for me.
Not Defender, because he gets mad if you say it like that.
Defendor.
He also gets mad for pretty much any other reason.
Okay, so Defendor, which is from 2009, starring Woody Harrelson as Defendor. And it is...
Kat Dennings.
And Kat Dennings, yep.
You might know from Thor or Thor 2.
Or nothing if you haven't seen those.
Nick and
Nora's Infinite Playlist.
Yeah.
Yeah, lots of movies that I haven't seen.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of movies, but yeah, it's a lot of sort of non-DeHart type movies.
Also has Sandra Oh in it. Sandra Oh.
Oh!
Oh.
And
Is she from like...
Grey's Anatomy is
yeah,
like her big thing.
Yeah.
I think.
I was gonna say, I feel like I've seen her in some kind of doctor show. I
Yeah.
don't watch Grey's Anatomy, so...
One of them doctor shows.
Well, there's only like 2,000
Oh,
of
I
them.
know, man. Damn you, ER.
Fucking ruining our television.
And then you've got...
If it ain't about solving crimes or helping people not be hurt, I don't want to see it.
That's right. So you're just a X-Files Criminal Minds type guy.
Yep.
And cartoons, of course.
Oh, X-Files is kind of out there as far as solving crimes, because they never really come up with any answers.
That's true.
That was
And
sarcastic,
did
by the way.
you use out there as a pun also?
Oh.
Because the truth is out there?
I didn't mean to, but apparently that my brain is just poisoned for that kind of thing.
Did you guys see The Tick is coming back?
You posted on my Facebook. Right?
Yeah. That's pretty surprising.
Yeah.
It's
That's
been a very long time.
I know.
Really, really weird. I never watched the live action Tick that's on Netflix because, just frankly, I heard there was like 4 episodes and I was like, I don't want to like it and be really pissed whenever there's only 4 episodes of
Well,
it.
now you can, I guess.
Watch it. I mean.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And like it, I guess.
And be pissed.
All 3.
And still be pissed because it'll get canceled immediately.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about the Tick but me.
This is so bad the internet's canceling it.
It's pretty fucking bad.
So, this movie is directed by Peter Stebbings, who, honestly, this was his first directorial debut, and he really hasn't done a whole lot after it. He's much more of an actor than he is a director. So he's done some made-for-TV things, but then he's been doing a lot more acting. His last role was in Immortals, I believe.
Oh, he was a doctor. Yeah, I don't think they even gave him a name. It's just doctor.
Inserted physician at whatever point.
Doctor number 6.
Woody Harrelson is one of my favorite actors. Like, he's one of those guys that completely relies on his acting chops, because he is ugly as fuck. There's no one that would ever mistake him for being attractive, and I can appreciate that in an actor. Like, he doesn't have to rely... Because I believe that there's a lot of actors out there that are okay actors, maybe not bad, but not great, but will get way pumped up for their looks, and then everybody's like, oh, they're a great actor. Kind of like I put Ryan Gosling in that category. Like, he's an okay actor.
Yeah, he's a pretty good actor,
but he's not a
he'd
fucking
be shit
amazing.
if he looked like Woody Harrelson.
Right.
Well, a lot of his acting doesn't really involve doing anything.
Just looking sternly.
Yeah.
It's like,
I felt like
I'm going to drive that car real fast.
I felt like that for Ben Affleck for many years. And then also, I kind of put Justin Timberlake in that category. And Johnny Depp a little bit. You know, Johnny Depp used to be able to fucking act. I don't know what the hell happened there. Now he's just Jack
Now he
Sparrow.
just plays Jack Sparrow in every movie.
Right. So it's, it's got to be hard to just pretty much be hideous and...
He's not hideous.
He's not hideous.
He looks like a regular guy.
He just looks like a normal person.
Exactly. As far as Hollywood standards...
He's similar hairline.
Okay, no. I mean, as far as Hollywood goes, he's hideous.
Right. Yeah. Okay. By Hollywood standards, he's a fucking chud.
And he's actually from, 20 miles from here.
Yeah. He went to Hanover College.
Yep. And
he also is banned from there because he returned there to do a graduation type, or may not have been graduation, but he went there to do a speech and he was fucked up on cocaine, and they were like, just don't come back. But I think they got a new administration, so he might be coming back anyway.
So let's talk about the plot a little bit of Defendor. Arthur Poppington, which is Woody Harrelson's character's name, is pretty slow. I wouldn't say he's full on mental retardation, but
he's just on the good side of that line,
right?
Which I think is around
75. Is really, really bad for him in this movie because he can't be tried. He can't be tried as someone. You know what I mean?
Mentally insane.
He
basically.
Can't. Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not insane. He's just not smart enough to be his own legal guardian.
He's a little bit insane. I mean...
Well, yeah. No, I mean... You know what I mean.
I do know what you mean. He's not able to not be tried to take responsibility for his own actions,
right,
is what you're saying. And that he basically just believes he is a superhero.
But, if he were an asshole, he still would have been tried, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean...
Really, he was kind of let off the hook because he's...
a really nice guy.
He's got good intentions.
Yeah. He just hates when bad people do bad things. Where the kind of mental issues come in is it's all kind of stemmed from issues that came from his past.
Well, I don't think he was
ever going to be a brilliant person. It's just that his emotional issues come from his mom being a piece of shit.
And his confusion on the fact that his grandfather told him that she was...
Right, but that doesn't have anything to do with him being stupid.
Yeah,
no, I'm not.
Smarter,
I don't
he'd be
mean
able
that.
to decode that.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
No.
You'd be like, oh, wait a minute. Maybe it's not that there's a captain of industry somewhere and he's the bad guy.
I'm not saying his mental capacity issues. I'm saying his actions are they're stemmed from the things that happened in his past.
His emotional issues, all the trauma and everything leads to him thinking it's okay to just go around beating people to death.
I don't think he actually
killed anyone.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
I don't think he even.
I don't think he believes it. I don't think he believes in using lethal force because he continuously says that guns are for cowards, and he uses mostly bees and marbles.
Dude, he definitely did severely hurt that cop.
Oh, you mean the one he was torturing?
Yeah.
Dude, have you ever seen one of those fucking nutcrackers and thought, God, this is a fucking torture device?
Yeah.
So many times in my life. It's got those two little metal things that just stab into the nut. Ooh.
That's what I'm saying. This was sort of a dark comedy. There was some comedic themes behind it, but I felt like that throughout the whole movie that the Chuck Dooney, the corrupt cop that he is kind of fucking with the entire movie. It's just kind of a running joke through the movie. It's this guy just keeps getting the shit beat out of him by him.
A little bit. I mean, I don't know if they could have made it funnier somehow. Because
it wasn't that funny to me. Like, it was kind of funny, but I mean, not that I didn't think it was good. It was good. It was just that.
Well, that's why I said a dark comedy.
Right.
It wasn't. It was like a black comedy. It wasn't like haha. It was just like
right. But I've seen black comedies where it was actually like it made me laugh. I didn't laugh one single time in this movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought it was fucking hilarious when he threw the jar of hornets at the guy.
Yeah.
These are bees.
Yeah. And then threw marbles at him, and then fucking threatened to hit him, and they all slipped backwards on the marbles. That
But
shit was funny.
None of the really violent stuff is funny like it is in
in Super.
In Super.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I just thought it was kind of fucked up. Like the first thing he does is just straight trench club that dude in the face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, who happens to be an undercover cop, but is also a shitbag.
Yeah. Not only a drug peddler, but also a what's it called when you pick up whores.
John.
Is that what it is?
I think that's what they call
That's what the horse
customers.
call them.
But yeah, so he picks up whores, supplies them with drugs, but also works for a basically Russian mob.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, the thing that he's supposed to be infiltrating, he actually just is.
He just does that, yeah.
And I feel like if you're in charge of a undercover investigation, like, besides him, the person that's been stuck in that, that's kind of things that you look for.
I honestly don't know that he was supposed to be there, like, as an undercover person.
Yeah, I think you're made to think that at first, but then you find out
that the undercover cop
was
was actually the black guy.
Well, no, it's like, I think they knew that he turned somewhere along.
Exactly.
They put another guy in.
Right, but earlier on we think, oh, this must be the undercover cop that he's talking about. But then once
the guy comes in, it's like, yeah, that was about nothing.
Exactly. He was like, yeah, I definitely wasn't anywhere near that. What happened?
I was ordering pizza.
Yeah.
Woody Harrelson's character thinks that there's some kind of ultimate baddie out there named Captain Industry.
Yeah.
And, of course, he's the supervillain and needs to be stopped because
he pushes drugs and causes people to die from it. Basically.
Right, and the way that his grandfather explained it when his mom died was that she was killed by the captains of industry, the drug peddlers, the pimps, things like that.
The people whose freedoms he defended during World War II or whatever. Or World War I, actually.
And he also owned the Trench Club. That was his Trench Club.
Yeah.
It
wasn't anymore.
No. What did he say? He used this to cave in thousands of German soldiers' heads.
I can't remember. He said it was soaked with the blood of 1,000 German soldiers or something like that.
And can we talk about how shitty that police force is, by the way?
He can just easily escape by just walking out.
And they come.
It's called a door. Lock it.
Yeah. Did you guys didn't think it was funny when he like chewed up his gum and put it in the fucking the key of the door,
the keyhole, and put a firecracker in?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess he had to think that he was escaping.
Right.
Even though they said it was like, oh, it's okay that you leave. But it's like they told him, it's like, hey, confiscate the club, give him everything else back, and just send him on his way. Because, it was more of a nuisance than anything.
Right.
What I thought happened was that they just had that door locked, and there was another door that just went out.
I don't think it was locked.
I don't either.
I don't think it was either, because I'm pretty sure a fucking firecracker wouldn't have done anything.
No, it wouldn't
But I don't think they intended him to walk through there, because the fucking club was just right there on the table.
And he just snatches it.
He's just like, yeah, this is mine.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, obviously, chewing gum and a firecracker is not going to do fucking shit in a keyhole.
And what about the number of times where he's talking to, like police chief, and the guy just turns around and he's gone again?
Well, that's what he says. I'm going to go get you some coffee and a donut or whatever. And that's the second or third time he's done that. So it's like...
He's so stupid. Maybe I should keep an eye on you. It's like, maybe you come with me and we'll get coffee.
So stupid.
Woody Harrelson has made it a priority now to follow this corrupt cop around because thinks that he works for Captain Industry.
Which essentially he does.
Right.
Well, I mean, yeah, exactly.
The name is assigned to the drug boss of this town.
Yeah.
Who, quite likely, was the one who ended up getting his mom killed somehow or another.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's possible.
I mean,
Who knows how long the guy's been in business?
It was either him or his, his dad.
Right.
Or
I want to say I don't know if he was old enough to
have been around for the last 30 years or whatever.
That guy was plenty old.
When
He might not have been the boss back then, but he was probably around.
Maybe he had something to do with it.
I mean, he was plenty old enough to be around back then, for sure. Just maybe not the dawn or whatever.
Yeah.
So, they're trafficking humans and guns and drugs and everything else, and Woody Harrelson decides he's going to stop them from doing this simply by just walking up to them and throwing marbles at them. Essentially, I mean,
yeah,
bees.
and little jars filled with not bees, but wasps.
Wasps.
Yeah.
And a trench club.
Yeah, he had some other things too, though, didn't he?
Yeah, slingshot. That was one weapon he had.
Yeah.
Towards the end, he throws a Molotov cocktail.
Yeah. Which
his arsenal's getting a little better as the movie goes
slightly
on.
better. He also had a listening device, which was so fucking poor that he had to basically be on top of them in order to listen to what they were saying.
Yeah.
Well, it's like I remember they would send like catalogs with all kinds of worthless bullshit in them, and that was one of the things. It was like the spy ear.
That was another part I thought was funny, was when he was spying on them from behind that glass thing, and he just fucking knocks it over
Well,
right in front of him.
if any of them had been paying any attention at all, you could totally see him in the background, just like holding the thing
He was
up.
poking up over the
Yeah.
side. It's like he wasn't hiding.
See, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think this is kind of a dark comedy. Like, there are little
I
things
mean,
throughout the
there's
movie.
definitely a few funny parts in the movie, but I wouldn't label it as a dark comedy. I would just say that it's, a drama or whatever you would call it, but there's comedy in it.
It's a comic book movie, essentially. I don't know if it's based on an actual comic book.
I don't think it is. Essentially, he's a very shitty superhero.
It doesn't really feel like a comic book, because, I feel like this would be the most boring comic book ever.
Oh, it would be a short one.
Yeah, maybe like a short story or something like that.
For the short bus.
Kat Dennings' character... a short bus of superheroes.
That's essentially what this episode is.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's essentially what this entire month is.
But specifically these.
Yeah, these ones especially. So Kat Dennings.
Kat Dennings, it was one of the prostitutes.
She was the guy blowing the undercover quote-unquote guy.
The girl blowing.
That's what I said.
Well, you said guy.
You know what I meant. She was the girl that was blowing the
undercover
cop and getting crack from him, pretty much. And she was really pissed off at him at first, and then she becomes friends with him because she realizes how stupid he is.
Well, and she also basically
she
saves
extorts
him.
$40 from him every day.
Well, she also picks him up off the pavement after they beat the shit out of him when he throws wasps at him.
Yeah,
because it didn't do
like
shit.
a handful of bees.
Yeah,
well, I mean, it did.
It stung a guy like twice.
Mad.
Yeah, it just pissed him off, and then they fucking ran after him and beat the living shit out of him. And like he was yelling at his car, like he was like, "Lights, lights, Defender mobile, lights," and then he had to run up and hit it so that the motion sensors would come on.
What I don't understand is he uses the whole like voice activated like gadgets several different times. Where did this come from?
I don't know.
Why does he have voice activated technology for his marble dispenser?
I mean,
You know what? He probably ordered something from one of those stupid magazines.
yeah, he fucking has money because he has a job.
And he probably hasn't bought anything since.
And he lives in a fucking like shitty warehouse space
He lives
or something.
in like basically the work
where they
area
store
of-
everything.
Right, the storage space for the construction.
like a boiler room, basically.
Yeah.
Of the job that he has.
So he's not spending any fucking money on rent
Yeah.
or utilities
It's all
or anything.
profit.
Exactly. So he can buy whatever the fuck he wants. Fucking Kevlar suits and hats with night vision and fucking...
Kevlar suits.
Well, whatever.
I think if he had
He
Kevlar
doesn't have
suits, we'd be
Kevlar
having a
suit.
different ending to this movie.
Yeah.
As always, we'd like to say
Spoiled
that
it.
please watch the movies ahead of time.
Yeah.
Well, I think the reason we do this show is because these are movies that 99% of the time, if it's not something that almost everyone has seen, it's a movie that no one will ever see.
Yeah.
Or hasn't seen. It's very...
I think
in
this
the
is
shadows.
kind of... I think this movie is definitely in the shadows. It's not...
Yeah, it's fully independent, I would say. I very much doubt it was even... Probably in like 2 or 3 very, independent type theaters.
Honestly, I'd never heard of it until they said, "Oh, we're doing this."
Yeah.
It's like,
As far as I
okay.
know, it was it's a Netflix funded movie or something like one of
Yeah.
those.
I don't know if...
Oh, that's before they do that kind of thing. But
Kat Dennings helps Woody Harrelson, get better and stuff like that, and he lets her crash at his house for, a few days or whatever.
It was paying her.
Yeah, and is paying her to crash at his house for a few days.
It's so confusing. She's kind of like his sidekick. She picks up VHS porns for him so that he can tape over him.
see, that was a little bit funny.
Yeah.
And he is recording all of his encounters too.
Which
by
is,
the way.
I don't see why the tape of the guy is like, this is what we're going to do, and this is the date we're going to do it.
Yeah.
I don't see why that wasn't good enough evidence.
Because I don't think that... I think it was just like...
Well, first of all, the evidence wouldn't have been gathered legally. Like, him just breaking in there.
Hold on. I think it would have been admissible because they would have collected those tapes whenever they arrested Woody Harrelson.
Yeah.
And therefore, it would have been evidence in his case that they could have used against...
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it was not necessarily the smartest police chief ever. He pretty much accidentally let him go about 100 times.
Possibly not even the second smartest, I would say.
Yeah, definitely. And he keeps calling him Commissioner.
Yeah.
Because he basically thinks he's Batman.
Batman, basically, yeah.
Commissioner, I have some news for you.
And he's like, Mr. Poppington. He's like, please call me the other name.
He pretty much fools him within a few minutes into telling him what his real name is.
Exactly who he is. Yeah, all he has to do is like, so what was your grandpa?
He's stonewalling me. It's like, nope. I'll just ask him.
And then...
well, he came at him straight, you know?
Yep.
And then he runs into the henchmen again, basically, and one of them obviously is an undercover cop and doesn't want to kill him, and so he shoots him with a bunch of rubber bullets, and everybody thinks he's dead, basically.
Right.
And so they cart him off to the hospital, where...
You know, as soon as you see that character, that he's the undercover cop, because he's, like, telling him to stay down, he'll, like, hit him a couple times, like, dude, stay the fuck down.
Or they're gonna shoot you in the fucking
And also,
face.
he's not dressed like a crackhead.
Yeah.
He's, like, the only one among them that's, like, has any formal fighting training, obviously, and isn't a crackhead. He's like, I'm just gonna wear a regular outfit, because, you know, I don't smoke crack.
If you smoke crack, you wear shitty clothes.
It's pretty much the truth. Because you just don't care enough about yourself to ever get dressed into something else. So you're just wearing the same thing all the time.
I think that there was another dirty party somewhere in there. Because how did the dirty cop know that he was shot with training bullets?
Because he didn't die. He found out about it.
He could have been wearing a fucking vest. There was no reason to think that the guy used fake bullets.
Yeah,
unless he had some kind of inside information. Maybe
it's not. As I'd say, it's not that inside. Honestly, it's like he couldn't have just walked in there and been like, "Hey, I'm here to see this guy," and you know.
Not only that, but it's pretty much free knowledge to police work. If you come in with a gunshot, whether it's rubber bullets or whether it's normal bullets, the police get called, and that's probably where he
is a police officer, so he would have known.
The police run everything, man.
in the Hammer. I love how the town was called the Hammer. One, they never refer to it as anything else.
No.
And the movie is moved along by the plot device of the radio host of this random show that you don't really ever hear what it is. It's just people calling in, and
you almost think that's what he wakes up to every morning. Like that's where he gets his ideas from. Almost, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
that's what's
you
playing.
never really see him listening to it necessarily, but
just in the first scene. In the first scene, not first scene, but after the first scene, when he wakes up, there's a radio next to his.
Right.
Next to
this
his
is
bed.
this could really, you could see this like the flip side to like Taxi Driver. Because, it's like, they consider him a hero, even though he's kind of a shitbag.
Right.
But, it's like, after everything's done. So
yeah, they basically...
It's like it's almost the same type of thing, except for, like, intention.
Well, they're kind of, throughout...
Which nobody could have known.
Throughout the movie, they're still kind of, they're kind of praising him and stuff like that, because it does have some radio broadcasts where people are calling in, and they're like, I'm glad he's kicking these people's asses.
And of course, there was the graffiti artist that he saved during that one scene when he was throwing bees on them. And well, I mean, honestly, that's right. I kept thinking, wow, a little jar of bees actually did something, and it was that the kid was able to escape because they were all like, bees, and he was just like, I'm the fuck out of here.
Right. And he actually had a fucking container at his home. With,
right. I mean, he had a bee farm and was like keeping them as biological warfare, essentially.
I wouldn't exactly call it a bee farm. He just shoved a hive inside of a case, and that's what it was. Like one of those giant hornets.
Call it whatever you're gonna call it, but it clearly worked.
Yeah.
I'm saying, man.
If this movie were a little bit darker, he'd be throwing used hypodermic needles at him.
Yeah. Or in Philip's Worst Nightmare, it's just like bowls of centipedes.
That's not worse than fucking used hypodermic needles.
No. It is to him.
No, I'd rather have the centipede.
Really?
Yeah. Dude! What do you mean, really?
a little bit. Of
I have
discomfort now.
sanity. I mean, if they were throwing them at me at the same time, I don't know which one I would instinctively dodge. But if you give me the choice, I'm gonna pick the centipede.
Please try this. Please.
It'll be like the fucking game Narc.
Yeah.
The junkies throw like fucking syringes.
Oh, I forgot all about that.
That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, if you're gonna do that, if you're gonna throw AIDS needles at me, just shoot me in the fucking head.
I don't think it's quite that bad, Steven. First of all, I think you'd have to really just getting one thrown at you. There's a very unlikely chance that you get anything that's.
That's why you have to have lots of them.
Yeah, those junkies have tons of AIDS needles.
You mean like Saw 2 style? Just a basement full of hypodermic needles.
Yeah, an entire trap door.
So ridiculous.
Okay, so he gets out of the hospital, and is this the point where he has a talk with Kat Dennings, and she tells him basically about how her dad's a piece of shit?
Well,
That's why he's
she
still
thinks
in the
he's
hospital.
unconscious,
Okay.
and she's just talking to nobody, and she's gonna like leave him alone because that's what his friend. That's what
his boss / friend.
Yeah, his basically the only person that gives a shit about him.
Yeah.
Is who's kind of takes care of him and gives him his cell phone and everything. He's like, Kat Dennings, step the fuck out of here because you're a fucking crack whore. Literally.
Yeah, you're an actual crack whore. I don't get to say that all the time, but you are literally
you're an actual crack whore. Please leave. You're ruining his life.
Yeah.
And so she was like basically telling him bye. A little bit tiny armed holes. And she confesses that her dad. The reason she's so fucked up is that her dad molested her. And she's like, and why she ran away from home and everything, and why she lives on the fucking street and smokes crack sucks dick for smoking crack or whatever.
Right.
And so he proceeds to leave the hospital, go directly to the fucking mall in his fucking hospital gown,
Yep.
and whoop the fuck out of this guy.
Yeah,
and he
yeah.
does. He beats the shit out of him.
Yeah, he hit him in the
Puts him in
face
a
with his
trash can.
cast and throws him in a fucking dumpster.
He
Which
hits
is,
him-
according to you,
and
all
throws him-
dumpsters
and
have
throws
high...
him through a fucking window. They could!
Oh.
And it's not a dumpster, it was just a regular trash can in a mall. It probably didn't have any hypodermic needles in it.
I don't know. Are there mall junkies? I mean, they're open all day. They can just
I mean,
sit
there
around.
could be.
I feel like there is. I just feel like every time you ever mention a trash can of any sort, there's just filled with
It's usually when I'm talking about dumpsters, and it's because there easily could be hypodermic needles in there.
I mean, it's true, though. Like, we've seen him, like, walking down the fucking road.
Yeah.
Dumpsters?
No.
Hypodermic needles.
Hypodermic fucking needles. So he gets arrested, and this is another thing going back to, like, why you think there's somebody on the inside, because as soon as that happens, the fucking cop knew about it. The undercover cop. He was like, because he went immediately to Kat
Yeah,
Dennings.
I mean, but is he just, like, following everything really closely? It's like, I want to know everything that comes through this department. Fuck,
I mean,
man,
he's probably got
smoking
that-
crack, too.
he's
Where did he find the time?
He doesn't even chase after him in that one scene because he's too busy smoking crack by a dumpster.
Yeah. It's like, oh,
He's like,
yeah.
I'll go this way. No, I'm
like,
actually just
oh.
going to smoke this crack.
Crackheads, man.
Sweet, sweet crack.
Well, I mean,
Piping hot, fresh
honestly,
crack.
though, he probably has, like, a flag out on his name, so anything... He probably has somebody, a friend in the station or whatever, that says, hey, if there anything on this guy comes in, I want to know about it.
A dirty friend.
Yeah. Well,
He probably
obviously,
also smokes crack.
This whole department's riddled with corruption.
Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking superhero movie. What police station isn't completely corrupt in a comic book?
Well, in this comic book, the police station's mostly just really dumb.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly how, but he figures out... Oh, no, it's from that recording that he made when he knocked over that privacy screen.
Right.
And he knows that they're going to have this meeting at this one specific place, and they're going to pick up all the humans that they've trafficked and all the guns and the drugs, and there's going to be like a little, it's going to arrive, the shipment.
It's gonna be a shindig, man.
Yeah.
But, I mean, before all
And
that
so he
happens,
goes there to
he's-
stop it.
Well, he's arrested first. And...
Right.
That
And
this
that's
is
the
Ken-
bookends of the movie.
Yeah, this is where it
basically.
catches up from, like, all the flashbacks and stuff
Because
of him being
this
in
whole
therapy.
time he's been relaying why he's
is in therapy and
Yes.
and needing an evaluation for the courts.
Right.
And so his friend is like, okay, please don't arrest him. I'll take full responsibility for him, Goodwill Hunting style.
Mm-hmm.
And he brings him into the judge's office, in which the judge tells him, okay, I'm going to let you go and live with your friend here, but no more fighting crime. And then he
loses his fucking mind.
Well,
he has to be
tells him that he
tased.
can't be
Defendor anymore. Yeah.
He doesn't say specifically no more fighting crime.
Yeah, he does. He says no more vigilantism.
Yeah, he says no more vigilantism.
He literally says it.
Okay, but he takes it as no more being Defender.
Oh,
Right,
yeah,
but he's
because
a
he's a
retard.
fucking idiot. And then he, like, almost beat the shit out of the judge in his own office. He was just like, ah! And they had to stop
And then he
him.
straight tased his ass, and then he's like, where do I get one of those tasers? It's like, yeah, you probably could buy one, honestly.
Saying all of this right in front of the judge, by the way.
Right, yeah.
Oh, trust me, Judge, I'm not going to do any more vigilante justice.
But where can I get a taser?
Yeah, and other things that I can do vigilante justice with.
Right.
Electricity is a horrible thing on the human body.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen those, like, they're like dog collars, that electric ones?
Mm-hmm.
Just to find out what exactly that's like, it's like I didn't put it on the front of my neck. I put it on the back of my neck and to test it out, and I nearly broke my fucking neck.
Shit.
Just because the muscle sees up like,
Yeah, that's what it's for. And dude, my brother has a dog that had one of those things, and he just powered right through that motherfucker.
Dude, they put it on the fucking front
Throat, yeah. And they shave the hair so it goes like right to the skin.
That's gotta be fucking terrible.
I've seen dogs just not give a fuck too. But you know what's funny about tasers though is like there is like a strong percentage.
You might have done it worse by putting it on the back of your neck.
where your spinal cord is.
Yeah, now that I'm thinking about it.
It's like I think still being able to speak is worthwhile.
Yeah. But no, I think there's like a huge percentage.
No, I know.
And I'm saying
I'm
this
not
from,
saying you should have tested it on your neck on the front. I'm just saying it might have even been a worse reaction putting it on the back.
Maybe.
Who the fuck knows?
I have
I ain't no scientist or nothing.
I have a personal reference that can attest to this, but I hear that the percentage of people that get tased, a large percentage of them just completely shit themselves. Or defecate and piss all over
Well, not only that,
themselves.
but people die from that shit.
Yeah. Well, it'll completely fuck your heart out.
Okay, do the people that shit and piss themselves, are they excluding the people that also died? Because you're guaranteed to shit and piss yourself if you die.
Well, the people the people I've heard about this did not die.
Okay.
But they were drug addicts. So
Well, they're probably going to do it anyway. So, where were we?
shitting and pissing yourself.
Oh.
No, he's
Okay.
leaving the judge's office after having been tased.
Yeah.
So he gets, he's back to work, holding the sign that says slow, which is really inappropriate. And,
Here's your sign.
yeah, exactly. That guy. And one of these fucking thugs just rolls up to him and it's like,
Hey, this is
Hey,
where we're
fuck
meeting.
you.
I got a paper plane for you here.
and it's a piece of paper that says, talk and she'll die. So he just stops speaking entirely.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he took that so literally.
Yeah, that's why I didn't fucking say anything.
I
Up
completely
until
did.
he decides that he's not going to take that bullshit.
I did not even recognize that he was literally not speaking because it said "talk and she'll die."
Yeah.
And that did not even fucking occur
That's
to
why,
me.
like, when he's sitting next to the little kid and
you
he's
just
like,
can't talk to him.
yeah, he's like,
I just thought he
Can't
was
you
like
talk?
really fucking pissed, and he was acting out by not speaking.
I think it was a little of both, but
yeah.
That's really funny.
So
That's actually a lot funnier than. It's really fucking.
at this
funny.
point, does he even have like all of his Defendor gear anymore? I think his friend made him get rid of most of his Defendor gear.
No, I mean it's back. I think it's still.
But when
just
he
back
goes
in
to
there.
when he goes to meet him at the end, he is wearing like a fucking parka. Like he's not even like he just doesn't even have like his vest on or his helmet or anything like that.
Probably they got rid of all of it.
His friend was probably like, "Listen, you can live with me, but all that crazy shit is not coming in my house."
I don't know. I thought he had the trench club in the last scene.
Well, he had the trench club, but
Where the fuck did he get that from?
I don't know. But
Okay,
I feel
you
like
can
if
have this
it-
one crazy thing because it
belonged to your grandpa. Yeah, but all the SWAT
One
shit you have to
crazy-
leave at home or leave in your fucking storage container.
Or whatever. But at any rate, he still apparently has an unlimited supply of marbles and a whole swarm of bees.
Yep.
Hey, there's nothing wrong with marbles or bees.
And Molotov cocktails, which he also uses.
Mm-hmm.
Does he catch somebody on fire?
I don't remember.
I don't know. I know he definitely throws it over the truck. I don't think he hits anything.
I don't either. He's a very poor superhero.
Well, but of course he is.
Yeah.
But
Anybody
he did-
would be a terrible superhero.
He
and
did
then
tell the
he's
cops
also
exactly what was going on,
Right.
and gave them a fucking trail of all the way there.
Yeah.
And it still takes them forever.
Drops flares out of his
But it does
Or-
go to back up my idea that there's also someone dirty on the inside, because whenever the chief is leaving, he tells two guys, "You follow me in your cruisers. Don't tell
Don't
anyone
tell
where you're
anybody."
going."
right.
That's
And I'm
true.
sure there were plenty of other corrupt police officers. He had to know about this one because he had that other undercover guy in there.
Well, not only
Yeah.
that, but the one that is corrupt was like the chief of the drug department of the
Narcotics or
yeah,
whatever.
yeah, the chief of narcotics. I mean, he's pretty high up there, so he probably has little cronies that are like, "Yes, we know what you're doing, and we're okay with it."
Bastard.
We know what you're doing, and we're okay with it.
It's all the little peaks.
Yeah, you're the crack man.
I need to taste my crack. What
So
the fuck?
Defendor finally meets his foe.
Captain
Wait,
of Industry.
before he does that, it's like he goes to save the girl, but she's already saved herself.
By shooting the
By
nuts off of this one dude.
Who has at this point been hit in the face with a trench club,
Several
been
times.
stung by bees,
Yes.
Yep.
tripped on marbles, had his fingers crushed by
And don't forget the lime juice in his eyeballs.
lime juice in his
He's
eyes.
like, "Oh no, not the lime juice!" And he's like, "Oh yeah, but for real though, not the lime juice," because he's like squirts it. He just does it again.
Yeah.
So good.
He gets his fingers smashed by the nutcracker, and now he gets fucking shot in the ball sack.
And you know what? He still survives.
Yeah, to
He
be
definitely
arrested.
survives, and then he goes to jail for 26 years, according to the newspaper clipping we conveniently see at the end.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to a guy who's got his nuts shut off in a fucking prison. What happens to that guy?
Well, I'm not gonna.
A cop with no balls in fucking prison. I'm sure he's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure he lived all 26 of those years.
Yeah, all 26 seconds.
Yeah. Or we heard you like trench clubs. I like trench clubs too.
Yeah, exactly. The main villain, he doesn't really seem all that interested in fighting Defendor,
No,
but
he doesn't care.
he pretty much makes him, so he ends up shooting him to death.
Yeah. He calls him a fly. Like, he doesn't give a fuck about
He
this
doesn't.
guy.
He's well, I mean, in all honesty, he's kind of half right.
Yeah.
Because he's pretty terrible
He's
at doing
got
anything.
more important criminal behaviors to
fuck
focus on.
Yeah, like trafficking humans.
I think it was also whenever he comes barreling in there and he's got he's throwing the torches or the flares out, and then he throws the last one back into the box. I thought he was gonna blow up the truck, but it just kind of slowly comes in and it stops
It
because
just
it hits
releases
the
a
wall.
bunch of smoke.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like all the little things in this movie like that are completely intentional.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
And
like it's just
But I think a lot of it's so subtle that you could have missed it.
yeah. Well, that's why we're smart.
That's why we're smart.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
how sentences work, buddy.
Do you even
So-
English?
Do I even English? So you're kind of optimistic that maybe he shoots him twice in chest, and he's like, maybe he'll live through that.
And he's just like, well, he even tells him after that, he's like, guns are for cowards. And then he hits him in the fucking face with his
He
trench
still
club.
manages to stand up and smoke him with the fucking trench club, and
Yeah.
he's just like,
And at that point, you're like, okay, fuck yeah.
fuck yeah, he's gonna win this fight. Nope, still gets shot to death.
Yep. But so does the fucking mobster.
Yeah, who knows what happens to the mobster?
No, it says he's dead in the fucking newspaper
Oh,
clippings.
okay.
Yeah, because then you see him run off, and then the cops.
Right, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a
And then
shootout in
there's
the
a shootout.
background.
This is all behind the drama that's in the front. It was like, well, I love you,
Yeah.
I love you, I'm dying.
And me
But-
and DeHart are like,
It's like,
what is
"Come
going
I
on back
wanna- I
there?
want to see the gunfight.
It's like in the end of fucking Reservoir Dogs, whenever Mr. Pink escapes,
Right.
and then you just know that there's a crazy gunfight going on
well,
outside.
I think he's.
I think Mr. Pink
actually
does escape.
survives
Yeah.
because he would just be smart enough to surrender.
I don't know.
Because he was the only one who was acting like a fucking professional.
It is true, but in this movie, you at least have some newspaper clippings that show you
yeah.
mobster killed after.
And for whatever
gunfight.
reason, Kat Dennings really does get a fucking typewriter.
and continues.
What fucking year is it supposed to be? The year of cell phones and no more typewriters?
Well,
I
it's
guess
basically just because he thought she should have had a typewriter and been writing like
Right.
Lois Lane.
But honestly, a typewriter.
There's still a lot of authors out there that use typewriters.
Yeah, but they're not 16 and have never fucking seen a typewriter.
That's true.
Well, she's not 16 either.
Well, who cares? She's like
Close.
18 or 19.
She dropped out of school. She said it was 4 years prior. So
she's probably like in her late teens,
or
at most.
maybe 20 at the very latest.
Okay.
So, in other words, does not know what a fucking typewriter even looks like. So she somehow finds a typewriter. You see her at the end doing her Lois Lane thing, finally off drugs somehow. Because everyone knows that all you have to do to get off of crack is just will yourself off of it. Nope. Doesn't do anything.
She could have sought help.
Yeah, there might have... They should have added a little caption
We're going
at
to
the
assume
end.
she went to AA or NA and everything.
There should have just been a little caption at the bottom
That's
that
some
said,
therapy.
After 5 years of grueling withdrawal and rehab.
Yeah. It's not 5 years.
Whatever.
It's like 3 days or whatever.
3 days?
No, it is. After that, that's all the
I
withdrawals.
know, but I'm just saying, but like...
After that, it's like years of therapy.
Yeah, I was going to say, your fucking rehab is pretty fucking long.
Yeah, 6 months probably. So, happily ever after, pretty much. Everyone loves Defendor. He's got this badass mural, and like, everyone is sad that he's gone. And it looks like maybe the city of the Hammer might not be so terrible from now on.
Well, all the crime lord is gone.
Yeah.
Well, the crime lord is gone. A couple of the corrupt police people are gone.
As Batman has always told us, even if a crime lord goes, there will always be another one
Just
to
another
replace
one.
him.
Fucking Batman. Always being such a goddamn downer.
Dead parents, man.
Go fuck yourself and your dead parents.
Ooh, go fuck his dead parents.
I mean, it's not like Batman's not the most emo of characters ever.
It really is.
So, alright. Poor Defendor.
Yeah, Defendor dies. It's pretty sad. Everybody wishes he wouldn't have, but it's like, honestly, what would have happened? He went directly.
Totally
he would have went to fucking prison.
Yeah. I mean,
probably to a home of some sort.
I think he would have gone to prison, man, because the judge was
straight up,
like,
and he just went right back to being a vigilante, like, immediately.
And he
it's
straight
pretty
up,
clear that's what he's gonna do.
He told the doctor that there was basically this was the only way to keep him out of prison, like, because he wasn't past the line of being institutionalized.
Well, maybe that would have put him over the line of being institutionalized.
Okay, you weren't crazy enough before, but because you went out
obviously,
this, okay.
It's like, oh, you're just gonna walk up to a fucking drug lord and try to challenge him to a fucking fist fight. You're crazy.
It's a match of fisticuffs, man.
Get the fuck out of here.
Trench clibicuffs.
Fucking trench club.
Alright, you guys ready to move on to Super?
Yeah.
Alright, Super from 2010, directed by James Gunn. You know what James Gunn directed?
Romeo and Juliet.
Haven't seen Romeo and Juliet.
It's pretty dumb. It's a trauma movie.
Also,
did he really direct Romeo and Juliet?
Yeah.
Well, no, he wrote it.
Yeah, he also wrote the screenplay to the Dawn of the Dead remake that Zack Snyder did.
I think he directed Terror Fervor.
He also did a
movie.
very big superhero movie that just came out.
Really? What could it possibly be?
I don't know. It was one that surprisingly you said you liked.
Yeah, I know.
Guardians of the Galaxy, which, I'm kind of glad. I'd seen Super last year, and I thought it was pretty fucking good. And I was like, I wouldn't mind seeing this guy do a comic book movie. And sure enough, he is...
I mean, honestly, this is as much a comic book movie as anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
they even have panels in the fucking movie.
I mean, and honestly, he went on to do Guardians, and he's signed on to do the second Guardians. And why fuck up a good thing,
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty surprising if you look from, where he came from, trauma movies.
Yeah.
But I really recommend one of Lloyd Kaufman's books, Make Your Own Damn Movie, because basically how it goes is Lloyd writes a part, and then James Gunn and another guy, they come through and they tack on notes to what he's saying, and it basically they have little arguments with each other, through the book. It's kind of difficult to read, but it's worth it.
Well, most of the trauma movies are difficult to watch, so...
Yeah, I mean, that's mostly just because of the shit stuff.
Yeah.
If it weren't for that, they'd probably go a lot easier.
I know that James Gunn did a movie with Lloyd Kaufman, made-for-TV movie. I can't remember what it's called, though. Oh, The Tromaville Cafe. It's a TV series. Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I had heard of it before. Okay, so Super, who's starring Rainn Wilson, most notably as Dwight from The Office. Ellen Page, who was in Kitty Pryde in the X-Men movies, as well as in Inception, and Juno, and my favorite role of hers is Hard Candy, which she is a fucking psychopath in.
Sure.
I wouldn't necessarily say she was a psychopath in Hard Candy. She was just very okay with torturing people.
Yeah, as a 13-year-old.
She wasn't 13.
Bull fucking shit she was. Yes, she was. That was the whole point of the movie, was him picking up 13-year-olds and then murdering them.
Well.
Oh, well. So basically she was a psychopathic 13-year-old that liked to torture people.
I don't think he knew a damn thing about her, so she could have been anywhere between the ages of 13 and 18 and still look young enough to pretend to be 13.
Oh, she still looks 13.
I know, this is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I mean...
What I'm saying is, you're saying that she's definitely 13 because he was targeting 13-year-olds. She knew that he was targeting 13-year-olds, so she pretended to be 13.
Yeah, I don't know.
No 13-year-old could have pulled off what she fucking pulled off. You have to be a fucking genius.
And then she hit him with a pipe wrench?
No, but she did pretend to cut off his balls.
I saw that.
Oh, okay. Liv Tyler, who is the daughter of Steven Tyler.
The ugliest man on earth.
How did he create somebody that's so pretty? Like, I don't think she's like drop dead gorgeous, but I've always thought Liv Tyler was pretty attractive.
I think she's super hot.
Right? Yeah, I mean, I think she's very pretty.
She's less hot as a crackhead. Somehow.
Is that the tie-in, really, besides the superhero part of these movies?
Just crackheads.
Crackheads. And then blunt objects hitting you in the face. That's kind of why I paired these two together. I was like, not so superheroes, blunt objects hitting people in the face, crack horse. Pretty weird.
And also, I was going to say low IQs.
Yeah. Kevin Bacon is the villain in this, and I always...
Which is very surprising.
Kevin Bacon, a villain? Oh, never...
I mean, why the fuck would he do this?
I love it, though. I fucking love Kevin Bacon.
Why would he do it? You mean why would he do this movie?
Yes, this movie.
Yeah, popular actors do low-budget, like, independent movies all the damn time.
You don't really see Kevin Bacon doing that much low-budget stuff. At least I didn't.
Well, what I mean is, all actors do. You just don't know about them because they're not like widely released.
Yeah.
They're just projects that they work on that they're not doing for the money or for the popularity. They're doing it to work on their chops.
Yeah, I agree.
To become villainous.
Kevin Spacey does that shit all the time too. Like he does a lot of movies that you don't even.
Pretty much every actor does. It's just some more than others.
Kevin Bacon's one of those actors that I always say is underrated. Like you never see him get any recognition for the shit that he does. And we talked about him a little bit.
I think he was way more popular in the 90s, and I just didn't really realize it.
Tremors and Footloose came out in the late 80s, and
no, I know, but I mean, I feel like he got so much more credit then than he does now, and I think he's a way better actor now.
Yeah.
Way better.
Well, and we talked about this a little bit during the Kevin Bacon episode that never went up. But
fuck you for reminding me of that. I hate you. God, we have to re-record that episode.
But he was awesome in Sleepers, where he was the crazy molesty guard. And we talked about the fact that usually when you play a villain, people can relate with you because they think you're cool or anything. And
he was awesome in Hollow Man, and he was awesome in X-Men First Class.
Yeah,
he's a really awesome villain.
But what I'm saying is it takes a special kind of actor to be able to play a villain that nobody can fucking relate with. Everyone fucking hates you. If you're a child fucking abusive guardman,
honestly,
nobody can fucking relate with that.
I don't think it's that hard to play that. I just think it takes a lot of courage and like. You have to know that everyone's gonna fucking hate you after you play. It's like the woman in. I always bring this woman up because I hate her so much. I would just kill that woman if I saw her in person. She's probably plenty nice.
Yeah,
but I just hate her so much. She's so perfectly hateable. She's like a fucking Nazi.
I think more people than you would think could relate to him because they're abusive guards.
I guess
there are abusive guards.
I'm sure these guards are watching. It's like, yeah, Kevin Bacon plays a really good butt rapist.
Oh, man. Can you believe what they fucking did to this guy? These bunch of asshole kids. If I were there, I'd molest them so hard.
I am taking that clip and copying that.
You already. Last week, last episode, you actually accused me of molesting children. You bastard.
I did. Oh, I did. I did. Yes, I did. Now I'm just going to combine the two clips
Fuck
together.
You. You're going to combine the clips and shove them up your fucking ass.
Well, that's what Kevin Bacon would want to do, which would bring it right back around to Super.
Oh god.
So
It's
Kevin
got,
Bacon.
Michael Rooker in it.
I love Michael Rooker,
He was
who was a
like,
serial killer.
he was actually also in Guardians of the Galaxy, which I really hope that people see him in that movie, like young fans, and then they go back and see Henry,
Yeah.
Portrait of a Serial
Have
Killer.
you seen that, Philip?
No,
It's so fucking disturbing.
Yeah, it's on
It really
Netflix.
is.
You should watch it.
Well, I'm going to watch Guardians of the Galaxy first, so it won't be ruined for me.
Yes.
I actually wasn't a huge fan of Michael Rooker's casting in Guardians. I don't mind Michael Rooker at all, but just being a comic reader and that particular character, I didn't think he really fit him. But
Oh, I never even heard of this comic, so it had no effect on me.
Yeah. Which is probably the case with most people that go see
Yeah.
it. But yeah, and then of course you had some cameos by Linda Cardellini, who is from Freaks and Geeks, and then also Nathan Fillion from Firefly, who played the Holy Avenger, who's essentially Bible Man. I mean, there is a fucking superhero, Jesus-loving Bible thumper out there, a TV show on not the All Jesus Network or whatever the fuck it's called.
It
in this
essentially
movie.
is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't remember what it's called. I'm just saying it's not called the All Jesus channel.
All Jesus, all the time.
Yeah. Okay, so DeHart, why don't you talk about the plot for this movie?
Okay, well, Rainn Wilson is a guy named Frank, whose wife leaves him because his life is really boring.
Yep.
And
He's a total loser.
she would rather
and
go
she's
work at
addicted to
a
drugs.
strip club and smoke
Crack.
and
Because she is a recovering addict. And
I think she's.
alcoholic.
I think her drug of choice is heroin. Actually. But
Yeah.
yeah. Well, drug, who cares?
insert drug here. Well, the different drugs, they have different.
Yeah, he does realize that she's kind of slipping away because all of her crony friends are coming over and they're all smoking weed in the living room.
That
and he gets
that
home.
gateway drug, man.
Yeah. But then he really knows that shit's hit the fan when he's like making breakfast and Kevin Bacon's sleazy ass just shows up on his
He's just
front
like, hey,
step.
can I get some of them eggs? Such a ballsy motherfucker to be like, hey, is your girlfriend or is your wife around? Because I was going to bang her, but since she's not here, can I just eat your eggs instead?
Oh, he's totally fucked up in that scene, too. Kevin Bacon's character
Oh, yeah.
is extremely, like, just...
High.
Yeah, yeah. Just
Well,
on
I mean,
smack.
Who's eating just plain ass, just got made by fucking Rainn Wilson's lazy ass eggs, and just is going on about how fucking delicious
What's he asking? Are those the brown
Are
kind?
these the brown kind? I don't know what those are. He's just like, no, they're not. They're just regular eggs.
Even the brown kind just taste like regular eggs.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
They're just less likely to give you salmonella.
Yeah. Okay, so this is where he goes on to...
Fucking brown kind.
This is where he goes on to figure out that she's not coming back, and he has a...
Well, all of her shit just vanishes in like a night.
Yeah, and then he goes
At
to
this
the cops.
point, they haven't gone. She's still technically with him and lives at his house. And then he comes home one day and all of her shit is just gone.
Right. And that's when he goes to the cops and says she's been kidnapped, and all of her stuff has been kidnapped too.
Yeah. It's like, so they kidnapped her and they took all of her stuff. And he pretty much deduces that, yeah, she left you. And it's like not that hard to figure out. But this is maybe one of the dumbest cops ever to live.
Dude, okay, Greg Henry plays that cop, and I hate Greg Henry because I think he's James Woods in everything that he's in. Like, every movie I see him in, I'm like, oh, fuck yeah, James Woods is in this. And then it's not him, and I'm like, God damn it, it's not James Woods. Fooled me again. Fooled
I don't know
you.
why you think he's James Woods.
He fucking looks like James Woods, man. Look at that. He fucking looks
He
just...
doesn't look anything like
You're
James Woods.
crazy. You are nuts. You're nuttier than fuck,
I
man.
think he looks more like James Woods than DeHart says, but less than what Steven says.
You don't think they look alike?
No.
He's just an older version of him. You're nuts. Well, anyway, I always get fooled.
Okay. Fooled you.
Yeah.
So
The cop tells him, okay.
his wife leaves him, which is so basically the last straw of his sanity, because he's clearly fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Which I think, between these two movies, I think the biggest injustice is that Woody Harrelson dies at the end of Defendor, and, spoiler alert, Rainn Wilson doesn't. And he's obviously fucking crazy as shit!
Way more crazy. Because...
And, honestly, in many ways, way dumber.
Well, I feel
Way
like
dumber.
this is not going to make any sense, but I feel like he's much more knowingly crazy. Like, he knows he's being fucking crazy, whereas Woody Harrelson doesn't really... He just thinks what he's doing is right.
I mean, honestly, it kind of is.
Yeah.
I mean, what is he? He doesn't use lethal force ever, except for to torture people.
That's by definition not lethal.
Right, but exactly.
Yeah.
He doesn't use lethal force. He only hurts people that he is 100% sure are either evil or just total, basically breaking the law in some way. He doesn't even go after people like Rainn Wilson, just kills people for cutting in line.
Oh my! And he totally killed that guy. That guy, there's no...
I mean, if he didn't die, then what the hell? Just caved in skull.
Okay, so we're jumping ahead. We can't do that because we have to explain the fact that he is just surfing through the channels and there's just tentacle porn on, and then Bible Man.
The first thing is tentacle porn when he turns it on, and it's like, why was it on that channel?
Well, there's a tentacle porn, and then there's the monster movie where the guy's getting his brain removed, and then he clicks to the next one, and it's the Holy Avenger.
Right.
And then right after that, he has a crazy hallucination of tentacles holding him down while his head is open and his brain is exposed.
And then God pokes him in the brain.
Yeah. So, basically, he just hallucinates the things that he watches.
Well, I mean, that's anybody.
Yeah.
Under the very flimsy of pretenses, he becomes a superhero.
Yep.
It's like, oh, well, you know what? I'm going to do my research. I'm going to go to the comic book shop. And I'm gonna
Yeah, he
figure
does
out how to do
research.
things.
He does research about superheroes that don't have superpowers, and turns out you just need to get a fucking pipe wrench. His research is for about 5 seconds in the movie, and he's like, what could be a weapon? I'll try the pipe wrench.
Right.
Puts a melon on his table, crushes it with a pipe wrench, and just goes, that'll work.
This works, yeah. And at the
The search is over.
the comic book shop is where he meets Ellen Page, also, who is
also a fucking
probably
way crazier than
yeah.
fucking Rainn Wilson.
I was gonna say crazier than crazier than Rainn Wilson.
Because Rainn Wilson, I don't think he intends to kill everyone, even though he's smoking them with a fucking pipe wrench. Because he gets really upset whenever Ellen Page tries to kill that dude with the horse statue, or the bull, or whatever it was. And it's like, I don't think they ever show, like, even the guy that gets hit in the face in line at that movie theater, I don't think they show him, I don't think they say that he dies or doesn't die.
None of them died.
Yeah,
because
that's what I mean. I don't think he intends to use lethal force. He just is using way too much force for anything at all requires a smoke to the head with a fucking pipe
Okay,
wrench.
I think what the conflict is she doesn't know how to apply appropriate kind of it's like basically if you decide to be a superhero, you're setting yourself in the Judge Dredd position,
Right?
Where you have to deal a punishment equal to the infraction.
Right.
It kind of reminds me of it's like I watched a movie with Ryan Gosling in it, where
Why were you British for a second?
Yeah.
Ryan
I don't know.
Gosling.
Is he even British?
No, it's not at all.
I don't know. He hardly speaks in the movie, so I
1000%
wouldn't know.
American.
At least in the movies that I've seen, he barely speaks. But so
He could be British.
it's like in this movie, there's like this Japanese guy, or I don't know exactly what Asian country they're in.
What movie is this?
Please forgive me.
What's it called?
So it's Only God Forgives,
Okay.
where him and his whole family are shitbags, but this there's like this Asian cop that is just kind of being Judge Dredd, and like he lets him go by cutting off his hands.
Oh.
Because, he's like a fucking bare-knuckle boxer. But he's been an asshole for his entire fucking life. His family, they're dead. But him, just no more hands. But you have to apply the appropriate amount.
Exactly.
Which doesn't make any sense in this movie, because cutting in line will get you your head bashed in with a pipe wrench. But if you key somebody's car, you'll just get a really solid beating and glass in your face. But not killed.
But from what she knew, she didn't even know that he for certain did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he didn't know that until they get back in the car.
I know.
Yeah,
Because she's
I
like,
know.
I'm like, pretty sure it was him.
Okay.
And you're just like,
Well, at the point we're at right now, they haven't become a team yet because he hasn't gone to the house yet. After he pipe wrenches the guy in line,
yeah.
which is fucking nuts, by the way. I think we already mentioned that it was literally because this guy just decided to cut in a long movie line, and because
His girlfriend cut too, and so he smacked her in the face with a pipe wrench.
We didn't talk about his hilarious friend that you see for like 2 minutes in the movie, who tells him not to. He tells him not to worry about that bitch anymore, his wife, because she sucks more cocks than his gay brother, who actually walked into the restaurant with cum on his face.
How are you gonna let somebody come on your face and not even realize it?
See, I really think that's the voice of reason of the movie. It's like, you know what? Just
Fuck her.
fuck her. You know what? Hook up with this fucking comic book chick.
Yeah.
I mean, she's crazy. Don't do anything too.
But she doesn't
don't
smoke.
Move in with you.
But she doesn't do heroin.
She doesn't do heroin, but she will kill someone for any reason.
I mean, this is like a light dating thing. Don't go any further than that.
Or you can just have sex with her and then puke afterwards.
Yeah.
Whichever.
Well, okay. We need to talk about this.
We aren't there. Steven's pissed.
Yeah,
I'm skipping
pissed.
over plot points.
I'm pissed because we're skipping over the part where he gets fucking shot. Like, he runs to the house and gets pissed because they put heroin in
his wife. They put heroin in.
I mean, they do.
They
just
did.
hold
They
up
put
her
it
foot
in.
and put heroin in.
Yeah.
And then
It's a funny way of saying it.
and then he just throws a pipe wrench through their fucking window, and you're
Yeah.
like, "What the fuck was that?"
He's like, prepare to face... what the fuck is his name?
The Crimson
The
Bolt.
Crimson Bolt, that's what it is. Prepare to face the Crimson Bolt, and they're all just like,
They pull out
yeah,
guns.
but we have guns, though. And he's just like, oh, fuck. He tries to run away, and almost does escape, but, you know, he has to climb a fence first, and so he gets shot. And
Michael Rooker shoots him pretty much in the ass cheek, like right below the ass cheek.
Because Michael Rooker's a bad motherfucker.
Yeah, he
No,
is.
it wasn't
Oh.
in the ass cheek. It was in the leg. Like
It was.
it's
Oh, I
in
thought
the
it was
leg.
like right back here.
no. I mean, it was low enough down that it was below his knee.
Okay.
So he gets this very minor wound that, you know, the bullet was through and through. It was just it pretty much grazed him. And he goes back to the comic book chick's house, who he's been going and visiting her at the comic book shop
To learn more.
just to learn about being a superhero. But he knows where she lives, and they know where he lives, so he can't go back there. So he goes to her house for this quote-unquote party, wrapped in trash bags. Rather than just take off his superhero costume, he fucking wraps himself with duct tape and trash bags.
Hey, Libby, there's this guy outside your front door who says he knows you, and his name's Frank.
He looks
And
homeless.
he looks homeless.
Well, he did.
She's meanwhile like making out with some random guy,
Christian.
Christian that she knows, and she pretty much makes everyone leave.
And Christian calls Frank her sugar daddy.
Well, enjoy your sugar from your sugar daddy. Throws his drink on her floor, and she's just like, whatever, you fucking jerk off.
Hipster
Yeah.
fuck. And at this time, the cop, who originally told him, okay, listen, your wife is not kidnapped, she just left your ass for heroin dealers, get over it. He sees
finally puts two and two together. Fucking Rainn Wilson's been bashing in skulls all over town. He literally had an encounter with him that was very awkward, where he was clearly hiding something in a closet, and all I did was make him just sign
did
some
he not
paper.
notice all the crazy shit written up on the walls?
Like,
and stuff?
I'm one of God's chosen, or whatever it said on the wall, like right above the closet. It's like,
Just serial killer red flag, by the way.
Yeah, but still, you have to have, like, a warrant.
That's true.
No, I mean, he allowed
you
him in the
come
house.
Yeah, you don't have to have a warrant if they
You have to have a
still
warrant
have,
to
like-
force entry.
Okay, but they can't go through, like, that's like, I'm just going to go through all your stuff.
Yeah,
No, I
that's
mean,
true.
he couldn't just go, I'm going to go into the closet door, but he
Yeah.
he could go, I think this might be him, go get a warrant, come back. He doesn't even fucking consider it.
Yeah.
So he goes back to the precinct, he's like eating a donut or whatever and pushes a newspaper aside, and underneath of that is a picture pretty much of the guy he was just at.
Which is like
his house.
the second or third sketch now, the police sketch
Right.
of because the first
Before
one,
they look like fucking serious, like, roid rage.
he looked like Radioactive Man from fucking The Simpsons. And then now it looks exactly
dead up like him.
Yeah.
Which is a total movie thing. I just want everyone... if you don't already know this, there's never been a police sketch that actually looked like the person it was supposed to be after. This is 100% the truth.
Yeah.
Police sketches are bullshit. If you see one, just look for whatever the opposite of that picture is, and you might find the criminal.
And there are sketch artists that are paid. They
Yeah.
get paid to do that.
This is their whole job. It's not their fault. It's that nobody can remember a goddamn thing. Like, of course you don't remember a guy you saw for 1 fucking second.
Yeah.
If I had to describe your face to a police sketch artist, it would not look like you. That's all there is to it. You don't.
What would it look like, Philip?
I don't fucking know.
You know, like a big dumb guy with a beard.
He's got like a beard and like a face. He's got like a real face on him.
Thanks,
He's
guys.
got all the usual parts to a face.
No, but like there was this fucking study where they made people describe very famous people that they've seen a million fucking times, and they couldn't possibly describe them to save their life. The sketches look nothing like them, like Ronald Reagan and famous movie stars and shit. It's like nobody fucking knows what people look like. It's bullshit.
Radioactive Man.
So that's where you get Radioactive Man. They would have never had a sketch of this guy.
No.
And
But
honestly, I kind of feel like what happens in this movie is almost like what would have happened. They would have eventually caught Rainn Wilson, which they don't. Spoiler alert.
yeah.
But all the rest of the stuff where he's just going around town just smoking people, just random acts of violence, they would have had no way of finding out who the fuck he was.
No.
No fucking way at all.
Well, they definitely would have, because
No, they would have eventually caught him. But I'm just
no.
saying, in the course of this movie, the amount of police work they would have been able to do, because these acts of violence are totally random.
they eventually bring this up. Like, I don't know why they even brought this up, because it makes you just think, why didn't somebody do this earlier in the movie? But whenever she runs over one of the henchmen, after she eventually becomes the sidekick and runs over one of the henchmen.
You mean Bolty?
Yeah,
When
Bolty.
Bolty crashes, not runs over, crashes him into a fucking brick wall.
And then laughs at him because he doesn't have any legs anymore.
Screams and laughs, ha! No legs now, motherfucker!
And so he's like, gee, I hope somebody didn't get my license plate. Oh, but you don't think maybe that somebody got your license plate the 400 other times you fucking done it in the middle of a crowd? It's like...
People don't get...
Especially one at the...
Steven, can
No,
you even tell me
bullshit.
what your fucking license plate is?
No, I can't.
Exactly.
But you
People
know
don't
what?
fucking remember anything!
But you know what? If I saw something like that happen, I would fucking immediately get the license
No, you would
plate
get your
number.
fucking phone out and start shooting a video of it. And you might get into the frame of what happened. Or you would run like hell because there's fucking people with guns.
I'm not talking about with guns. I'm talking about the part where, like, he just walks up and beats the shit out of somebody in the fucking middle of a movie line, and everybody just is like, oh shit, and then he just runs to his car and fucking drives off. And it's like, at that point, yeah, I'm getting that fucking guy's license plate.
Yeah, maybe.
You can at least tell what kind of car he was in.
Yeah, some kind of clue what this fucking guy
Okay.
is doing.
What happens in this movie takes place over the course of like a few days. All I'm saying is, he commits many random acts of violence in those days, and there was just no way they would have caught him in that amount of time.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe you're right. Maybe it'd be eventually, but I guess
Which, clearly not.
no.
Well, it's because he hangs up the boots.
Yeah, the violence stops. The Crimson Bullet is no more.
And the only guy that knew it was him gets fucking smoked by Kevin Bacon's cronies in his apartment.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
They
the
just
cop,
they blow
yeah.
him the fuck away.
Yeah.
What's up, Frank? It's like,
That's
you
not
can't pin
Frank.
this on me, man. You can't pin this on me. I saw him pull the trigger.
Yeah. And so that's when Ellen Page becomes Bolty, and then proceeds to rape.
Yeah.
She
Rainn
straight up
Wilson.
rapes Rainn Wilson.
I think it's a first for this show that
A male rape.
a woman on man rape. Yes. Not in a butthole.
We have to be specific because she's clearly fucking crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she could have.
You don't think she would have?
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't think she would have done that?
No, I
yeah, she
definitely
would have
do.
definitely done that.
That's if there had been another day.
Yeah.
If she had had enough time to go to somewhere to get a strap on.
And
That's
she's
what
just
would
like,
have
oh, I'm sorry, I was sleepwalking.
No, she's pretty clearly.
Oh,
she was leaning very hard in that direction before she went to bed.
Well, yeah, because she asked him if he wanted to make out, and he was pissed.
Yeah.
He's like, I have a wife. That's
No,
a
you
sacred
don't.
bond.
You stupid fuck. Your wife left you.
And
you
it's
don't have
fucking-
a fucking wife.
Fucking footloose in this goddamn ranch or whatever.
It's like, I know this is probably the wrong choice. But fuck that bitch.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So,
Hey, wait a minute.
I think that's what most reasonable people would do.
Yeah.
It's like, you know what? Go ahead. Shoot up heroin. I don't give a shit.
I think
Kill
it's
yourself.
I think it's kind of funny that there's a couple Kevin Bacon references in Guardians of the Galaxy.
Are there?
Yeah, because he talks about Footloose.
Oh, yeah, Footloose.
And Kevin Bacon is in this, and James Gunn directed both of them. 7 Degrees of Separation. Or
From
six.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, only without the 7.
Yeah, but actually... with
1
Kevin
degree of
Bacon-
separation, 0 degrees.
Right before, she proceeds to rape Rainn Wilson, she tells him about some guy that keyed a car, and then they fucking break a vase over his head.
Yeah.
Yeah, they with some really gruesome. We haven't really talked about it, but there are some very gruesome special effects in this movie.
The brain part was awesome looking, by the way.
Well, yeah, I mean, but that was even a hallucination. I'm talking about the violence.
Oh yeah.
The guy that had the glass in his face, it was just straight gushing blood.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it wouldn't really look like that, but it looked awesome.
Yeah. And also the dude who got his head caved in the movie theater line too.
Yeah.
Whatever. I mean, it was just straight dent in his forehead.
Yeah. I don't understand. I don't get how that guy didn't die. Because they say that he didn't die, but how?
He smoked.
Hey,
what? He smoked his fucking wife too. By the way.
Oh, I know. He's like, you cut it like two.
You know what? I can tell you from working at a gas station, there are people that walk around with giant dents in their heads. They're just fine. Because I remember there was this guy that had he had a huge dent in the top of his dome, and there was another guy who had a matching goiter, and it's like, man, they should really get together.
Oh, I thought you were saying they came in together.
No, it's like these are just people, random people. It's like one had the dent and one had the matching growth.
Ooh.
It's like, oh man, that growth would really fill in that dent nicely.
Ew. Also,
I feel like if you had it removed, you probably wouldn't graft it onto someone else's head.
Yeah. Also, I feel like
not?
I feel like if you have a giant dent in your head, that you pretty much are obligated to be a supervillain at that point. There's just nothing else.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you're nothing else that's going to be meaningful.
So
at this point, they decide we need some better fucking weapons, and they go buy all the weapons.
But the reason they do that is because he pukes in the toilet and sees a vision of
right
Liv Tyler.
after being raped. He pukes Liv Tyler into the toilet, and then all the puke chunks arrange. It's so nasty.
Yeah, and then he decides, okay, we gotta go now and get weapons and fucking take care of this shit.
Just imagine if you threw up, drained off all the liquid, and then just took the chunks and arranged those into Liv Tyler's face and then made it talk. That's what it was, and it was so gross.
Yeah.
And the next part of the movie is probably my least favorite part because of how much bullshit it is. And that's when they go to the store and just apparently can buy whatever the fuck they want.
Remember the guy that believed in aliens that was trying to tell us about fucking whatever it was? He was like, Men in Black 2 is real. Specifically Men in Black 2, mind you.
What?
The guy at the gas station.
Yeah.
And he was asking us... First he was just asking about Steven's tattoos, and then he asked us for directions to Gun World.
Okay, that doesn't mean that he got anything. He could have just been browsing. Alright, fine.
Yeah. This was,
yes, he did.
This is after he told me about all the things on my arms that he understood, like the Tin Man and the UFOs, which I don't have.
He doesn't have tattoos.
Okay.
I don't even have that stuff.
I think he was probably talking about data for the Tin Man.
Maybe.
Yeah, not Cracker.
But then he was just like, and the UFOs, and then he was like, and that stuff in Men in Black 2, that's real. And I was just like,
he specifically says Men in Black 2.
No, that's all he said.
All of it.
And then he said,
Will Smith.
I bet you'll
Tommy Lee Jones.
Then he goes, I bet you'd never know how old I was just by guessing, but I know you'll be ready. You know what's going on. And I was just like, I have no fucking clue. And he's like, can you tell me how to get to Gun World? And then I fucking told him how to get to Gun World, and I just feel so bad about that because I told Philip that. I felt like...
You didn't know where it was, though. You were just guessing. You were like, I think it's over here, and I'm pretty sure you were wrong, so I don't think you should feel bad.
I told him I thought it was over, on 62 or something, and he was just like, all right, man, I'm going there right now. And I looked at Philip, I'm like, God, I'm going to see a murder in the paper tomorrow.
Well, no, because you gave him the wrong directions.
Yeah, hopefully. So... But anyway, what I'm saying is they're picking up rocket launchers and shit like that.
Yeah, obviously that's fictitious.
Yeah.
I could go and buy a gun tomorrow. Probably not tomorrow because everybody's going to be closed. But Tuesday.
You could buy a fucking shotgun tomorrow.
I know.
You couldn't go and buy 4 fucking handguns tomorrow.
Steven, I know this. I'm saying it's hyperbole in the movie, but honestly, it's not really that far-fetched compared to these very many other far-fetched things that happen in every movie ever.
Yeah, I'll agree with you. That's what I'm just saying. For this particular movie, this is the part
This is the part that you're like,
yeah,
okay.
when they just go in and they're just like, clearly they're buying shit for bombs.
Yeah. It's like, well, they're buying all the equipment you need for bombs and all the guns that they can afford. Which is many guns.
Yeah.
They never buy the rocket launcher, by the way.
Oh, I know. They just fuck around with it.
Yeah. Because there would clearly just be a rocket launcher you could play with at the gun
Yeah.
store. I mean, maybe there is. I don't go to the gun store, but...
I don't know.
Let's go to Gun World, guys.
After this, we're going to Gun World. There probably won't be any more podcasts.
I've been waiting for you. I knew you'd be ready.
I've been waiting here for 2 years.
God, I really hope he somehow doesn't know about the podcast.
Rainn Wilson at this point, like, constructs this weird little thing on his hand where it's attached to an air pump that if he squeezes it shoots basically like a box cutter blade. I guess it's a little bigger.
It's bigger than that. It's a little thicker too. It's just
like razors.
Imagine just a sharp piece of metal in the shape of a chevron.
Yeah.
And it fires out like probably not accurate very far, but with enough force to stab into a wooden wall that he shoots it into.
Right.
It's like, okay, well, that's pretty cool, I guess. And he effectively makes many bombs, like 10 or whatever pipe bombs.
And Ellen Page makes basically fucking X-23 claws.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, or Wolverine claws. I mean, they're basically the same fucking thing.
Yeah, they're 2 only, but she does use them to slice up a dude.
Yeah, and she's
laughing maniacally the entire time.
It's like when you're trying to be stealthy and like espionage is your game.
It's like, whoa!
Let's calm it down.
And that's eventually what does her in.
It definitely is.
Oh yeah, she throws a bomb at a guy. He blows up into a billion pieces, alerting everyone on the inside.
Awesome special effect, by the way.
Good. And then she's like, hey, the bombs work really good. Which they work really good at alerting everyone that you're there, and everyone runs out into the front yard and starts fucking mowing them down.
Mm-hmm.
So Rainn Wilson gets shot directly in his bulletproof vest. He goes down. She goes down also, and you think, oh, well, maybe she only got shot in her bulletproof vest too. Nope, she's missing half her head.
Yep, gets her fucking head basically blown off.
Right the fuck off.
Yep. So she is dead, and this is when Rainn Wilson just goes ape shit.
Yeah, he just stands up and just miraculously doesn't get shot, which...
It's the Holy Avenger, man. He's watching over him.
This is one of those things that it's like, oh, how can the bad guys possibly be this bad of shot? People really are poor shots.
Not only that, but it's every comic book ever made. How many times do you think Batman just stands there and like people fucking shoot guns at him and he's just like...
Right, but you gotta know some of those bullets are hitting him and he just doesn't care. Because he's Batman. He's wearing... His entire outfit is Kevlar. If they happen to manage to shoot him in his fucking... like, where his lips are, then they can kill him.
Well, and then he just proceeds to throw bombs everywhere.
Yeah, kill everyone.
Yeah, it goes all the way to Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, using a shotgun.
And the whole reason that there's a lot of people here is because Kevin Bacon's got this crazy big heroin deal going down at the moment.
Oh, and also the black guy that's buying all of his drugs is also raping Liv Tyler.
Yeah.
2 rapes, 1 movie.
Yep.
Real good. Great movie. So many rape.
Well, it's an equal opportunity rape, so you gotta give it that.
It's true there was at least a boy rape and a girl rape.
I think those should cancel each other out. To where no rape.
You're not helping the whole you being a child molester thing.
No, I'm saying mathematically, not in practice, of course.
Okay, I know what you mean. So yeah, he murders his way to the top, literally.
Can we talk about how brutal the fucking murder of Michael Rooker was? Where he's just smashing his fucking head against the corner of that fireplace.
Oh, yeah. There's basically like a ceramic tile or whatever it is on the corner, or stone or whatever it's made out of, and he just hits his head against it until his head becomes pudding.
It's basically the kind of thing you would have seen if you watched Henry Portrait as a serial killer.
Yeah. Did you see how fucking dead Michael Rooker was? How good like the makeup was? Like,
how dead
he was fucking dead. Like he's sitting there and like as he's fucking slamming his head on this thing, he's just like and then on the like last 2 times he did it, it's just fucking dead.
Dude,
like,
they had to make a prosthetic. There's no way that was really him.
Oh, it was just crazy looking.
His eyeballs like flipped back in his head.
I know, man. It was nuts. And he also did straight John McClane shit too because he fucking tied that that thing to the body and fucking flung it through the window and it had a sign on it written in blood that said behind you.
And he swings in from the other side and just proceeds to kill them both.
Yeah.
Fucking John McClane.
He does a lot of things that there's no way in hell he would have been able to pull off, but it's okay because he's fucking the Crimson Bolt and he just murders his way through everyone.
And at this point you think that Kevin Bacon might just do like the only smart thing that he's done in this entire fucking movie, and that is just give up.
Yeah, just escape while you can.
Yeah.
Just let Rainn Wilson have Liv Tyler and just leave. But no, he has to fucking try to shoot
Well, he does shoot him. He shoots him like 3 times.
But a lot of them are bulletproof vest.
Oh, I thought he shoots him like right here, like
he does shoot him once there.
Well, either way, all he had
to do. They were non-lethal shots. The point is, he could either shoot him in the face, or just leave.
Well, he had to do the villain thing. We're the villain thing where it's like,
you think you can defeat me? I'm the villain. Here's the rest of what I'm going to do to you. Feel free to shoot me with the one thing we already saw you use earlier in the film that we haven't yet seen you use in practice yet.
Which he does.
Yep, shoots him right in the taint.
Look at the taint on this guy.
I mean, honestly, that's where he shot him, and it's like so fucking gross.
Yeah, you just see the blood pour out of his taint.
Just imagine like a 4-inch flat blade just stabbing straight up into right in the taint.
Yep.
Vasectomy the hard way.
Yeah. Well, and then I forget what they call it, but they do that sometimes for women that have narrow birth canals. They have to slice it from like
episiotomy.
Yeah, that's what he gave him. Fucking Rainn Wilson gave Kevin Bacon episiotomy.
It's kind of a different thing, but fine.
Obviously.
Well, he didn't follow the exact surgical procedures needed.
Yeah.
And Kevin Bacon doesn't have a vagina.
Or a birth canal.
You probably didn't realize that I'm a part-time doctor.
Oh, yeah, I didn't know that. Where did you
Completely unlicensed, of course.
Yeah, I was going to say, where did you get your medical license from?
Online.
It's all lies.
I made it for him.
WebMD.
In Photoshop. WebMD's a real thing.
I know.
No, I mean, it's not something you can get a fucking fake medical license from.
No.
Okay, so she's rescued, but guess what? You know what? They're still getting divorced.
Yeah.
She goes to fucking rehab.
She still doesn't like you because you're still very crazy and boring.
And she did definitely watch you murder somebody with a knife.
Yeah.
Well, she didn't see all of it, but she knows that he murdered a lot of people.
Yeah. But I mean, she actually sat there and watched him stab a guy to death.
Right. There's no way she can sleep next to this guy, like, long term. She does go back with him, the last part is narrated by Boltzmann.
Crimson Bolt.
And he just basically says, well, I can't really blame her. I did murder a bunch of people right in front of her. But she stays with him for a while, and then she has her own, like, successful life. She goes back to school and gets off of drugs and, goes to her Narcotics Anonymous meetings and has a family and everything. And all that was thanks to Rainn Wilson and his crazy sidekick who loves to murder. And the moral of the story is, he gets away with it. It's perfectly okay as long as you murder the right people, I guess, or cave in the right skulls.
One thing they left open, like, what about the cop? Like, did the bad guys, I guess, clean up the cop from his house?
Probably. I mean, I don't know.
Why would
they?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why the fuck would they?
Well, I mean,
they might have destroyed the evidence because there was 6 or 7 slugs in him that were tied directly to their guns.
Just leave all the guns there and like plant all.
Maybe put like a little post-it note. I am belong to Frank Darbo.
I am belong. Yeah, that might have worked actually. Frame him real horrible style.
Yeah.
Dude, he's got all this fucking crazy shit. It's like it would have been a slam dunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was enough shit in his house to put him away, regardless of the fucking murder.
So the deleted scene that we didn't see is him putting the fucking cop body in a wood chipper and throwing bleach all over his fucking house.
Or the deleted scene of the cops never catching him because they're terrible at catching anyone at anything.
Yeah.
And he probably just took care of the body when he got back.
And then that
same way he took care of Bolty's body wherever that went.
That's what I was gonna say. Like, and whenever they found out that Bolty was dead. It's not like any of her friends who saw her hanging out with the crazy, suspicious guy that happened to look like the sketch from Crimson Bolt.
Well, you know what?
They couldn't put it together, Stephen. It was too hard.
Wait.
Police work, there's just too many dots.
They would know. It's like, she was his friend.
Right.
And she's dead. So, I'm definitely not going to get on his fucking bad side.
Well, the best we know is that she's just missing. Because she probably didn't have her officially buried.
Well, I mean, but, dude, there's lots of dead people out there.
Yeah.
I mean, a mailman or something's gonna come by, and somebody's gonna say, "It's like, what the fuck? There's all these goddamn dead bodies everywhere."
He did take her body though, didn't he?
Yeah, he took her body.
Yeah.
What did he do with it?
That's what
I said. He clearly fucking put it wherever that cop's body was. It's probably just 2 skeletons in his basement.
Oh, you think he like stuffed her?
He fed him to his fucking rabbit that he gets.
Probably in that closet with the dog.
Oh god.
fed him to his rabbit.
All right. So, what do you guys think of these movies?
Pretty good.
They're okay.
Pretty good.
It's like, for the most part, I wouldn't recommend them.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, somebody has to have a very specific taste. It's like, basically, if you're looking for a happy ending, these kind of both don't have one. I mean, he does have like the, it's like, oh, it's a happiness ripple because I saved one goddamn junkie.
but murdered like 400 others.
I know.
And caved in some random dude's skull for all we know, who is about to, like,
not just
unlock the secrets of AIDS or something.
A billion dudes.
Fucking...
Well, most of them, they say, were clearly criminals and child molesters and all kinds of other various. Because they found out, like, after they were like, oh,
but
these
a guy
people in the
cutting
hospital.
in line could have been anybody.
I think we can all
Could have
agree.
been fucking anybody.
I think we can all
Yeah,
agree.
but I think we can all agree that guy did deserve to get his fucking skull caved in. Because, I mean, honestly, who just is like, well, I'm cutting in line, back the fuck up, make a space for me.
Yeah.
That is a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
Well, he could have just punched him in the face.
Yeah, and everybody,
No, I'm not saying...
and
everybody behind him was about to, too. They were like, yeah, fuck you, too.
They saw him get out the pipe bridge, and they're like, oh,
Yeah.
maybe not as much.
Can you guys,
That might have been too extreme.
can you guys agree with me that these both are pretty fucking terrible superheroes?
I think that's the theme of the month, Steven.
Well, I mean, they both got the job done. In
Also,
different ways.
I think,
Sort of.
I
They
think
were single mission heroes.
I think Defendor was awesome. Honestly. Like, the movie was pretty good, but as far as him being a superhero, he did way better than he should have been able to do. I mean, honestly.
Well,
He brought down a whole crime syndicate.
mainly because he just led the cops to them.
That was what.
He practiced-
that was good enough.
Yeah.
He got the job
Is there
done.
anything else you
Oh.
need to do?
Well,
He had a single mission, and he completed it.
He did get
I mean,
killed.
The Crimson Bolt had had one single mission too, but fuck, he did a lot of other shit.
well, he's
besides
definitely a
his one
shitty
mission.
superhero just because he fucking murders people. Like, you can't be a superhero and murder people.
Well,
I
Like,
think
sure, the
Batman would
Punisher.
probably save a lot.
the
of
Punisher
people.
is not a superhero. The Punisher's a fucking vigilante fucking murderer.
Okay, I'm just saying that Batman can save everybody a lot of fucking time if he just fucking bashed the goddamn Joker's head in, and that was it.
Well, he can't because the Joker is like a piece of himself.
It's really stupid. He should have killed Joker way a long time ago.
Yes.
Well,
This is why we're not superheroes, because we would be murdering people.
The fact of the matter is, he kills people all the time. Just kill him, and then he can't kill anyone else.
Yeah, net gain.
well, I think Defendor was definitely a better superhero than the Crimson Bolt. That's for sure.
I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
much more to
He's
the
a way
spirit of
he's
it.
a way
Yeah.
more moral superhero for sure. He has very much a code of conduct that he follows. No drugs, no raping children. You know.
And he's also not led by Jesus.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's kind of a downer.
He had a low IQ, but he also at least wasn't hallucinating and certifiably mentally insane.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree with
Which is the other bullshit thing about Super, is that it doesn't matter if you decided you're going to hang up the mantle of fucking Crimson Bolt. If you're fucking crazy, you're fucking crazy.
Yeah.
And you're going to do other shit that's fucked up.
you. Yeah.
I don't know why I turned into the gopher from Winnie the Pooh just
I
now.
don't know either. Yeah, like I was just imagining the ending scene where he's like looking at all the pictures of all the good things that he did, and then just turning around and the wall behind him is just like 1,000
Everyone
pictures of him
murdered.
just murdering people with like people with their head caved in and fucking drugs.
Honestly,
and all
that's what it
that.
would have been.
And also, like, the net effect of, like, sad families and discipline.
I think my favorite part about Super was that whenever he finally gets Kevin Bacon, like, he's got him and he's about to stab him a shitload of times, and he just goes, "You don't butt in line! You don't do drugs! You don't molest children!" And he's like, "Those are the rules!" And
Yep.
he just goes bananas on his ass.
And he goes crazy. Yeah, I actually really like that dialogue between the two.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon's just like, stabbing me is not going to fucking do anything.
He just goes,
It's not going to save anybody. And he's just like,
"How will I know if I don't try?"
Exactly. It's like Psychotics 101. I don't know if it won't make a difference or not, but I'm still going to murder you.
Oh, so...
Yeah, I think the moral of Super is if you have an idea from a dream, you don't follow it because
Especially
your
if that
dream
dream
one
made
doesn't know
no
anything
sense.
about reality.
Yeah. And what's the moral for Defendor?
Don't live in the hammer.
Yeah.
Place sucks dick, literally.
For
Cat
crack.
Bennings.
All right, let's go ahead and wrap this up. I don't really have any listener feedback for this week.
You did have like a thing that Joel sent you link to it.
I was gonna bring that up. The Willy Wonka.
An edited chapter.
Yeah, where he.
I didn't read it.
I looked at it and there was a funny illustration to go with it, where it was just Willy Wonka disposing of all the children in the graves.
So good.
So we know that he was listening and agreeing with us that Willy Wonka is just a murdering devil.
2,000% crazy.
And also maybe a shitty superhero.
For sure.
Okay, guys. Well, if you want to tell your friends about us, you can find us on Twitter at MPM Podcast. You can also find us on iTunes, where they can download all of our episodes for free. I also can get us on Unitedcypher.com, where you can stream our episodes or download them all, also for free. You can find other podcasts on Unitedcypher Talks Over Games, as well as Unitedcypher Presents. Listen to our Friends in Return of the Living podcast, if you like horror and haunt-related issues. Also listen to Philip's friend Chris's podcast,
Back Row Hecklers.
Yep. Which is a wrestling podcast.
Yep.
And
All things wrestling. They cover pretty much everything, as far as I know.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to have a really badass special guest. I don't know shit about wrestling, so I don't really know, but, check that out.
I hope it's like
Snake,
I don't
Jake
know.
the Snake.
No, he's in bad shape right now. Actually.
Speaking of crack,
Yeah.
actually, I thought he was supposedly, kick crack for yoga or some shit.
Kick crack.
High on
He's
yoga.
doing DDP yoga. Bang! Okay, check out Empire Comics for awesome comics and cards, and check out fivefingerkeys.com. And I'm one of your hosts, Stephen the Roast Rosenberg.
Bill the Kill Collins.
And DeHart.
And we'll see you next time.
Don't be tired. You give up and you set it on fire. All is forgiven in the end. Maybe we run, or maybe we stay and defend. Stay and defend. Now.